Today is September 11th, and I'd like to honor September 11th through a story about soul lightning acupressure and how that community of body workers responded to the events of September 11th, 2001. This is a story from our book, Empowering Whole Being Health, written by Leah Madelon, one of our senior faculty, and she talks about the origin of the Seva stress release acupressure protocol, which we teach. On September 11th, New York City, Washington, D.C., and the entire world was shocked and changed by a terrorist attack that destroyed the World Trade Center towers and hit the Pentagon. To those of us who were in New York at the time, we will never forget the impact of that day and its aftermath. People came from far and wide to help. First responders, police, firefighters, they all gave selflessly of their time. On Monday, September 24th, a group of Soul Lightning faculty members gathered with our originator, Dr. Amina Rahim, at the home of Betsy Baker. The original purpose of the meeting was put aside, and we met to comfort and support each other outside of this terrible tragedy. Amina led us in our pyramid meditation and then asked us to consider what we could do, what we could offer through our work to the world. And part of that is that we know that when trauma is trapped within the body, it can result later in a lot of health issues. And it was important that we contribute something to the world to help address that trauma. So that evening, several of the practitioners talked about creating a protocol that would serve that purpose. They started listing points and the meridians in the energy flows that should be included in this. That next morning, Angelique, one of the faculty members, woke up and said that she had dreamed about the order that the points should be presented in, and so the shock stress release protocol was developed and presented to Dr. Rahim, and it was taken to New York City. So Leah goes on to say, I returned to New York City and I was among the volunteers who worked on the relief workers down at the piers. They had tents and massage tables set up, and we were able to treat them as they came in. I used the shock stress release there, and it was very powerful. There were police officers and firefighters exhausted from the effort, both emotionally and physically. She later taught this protocol to Paula Macaulay, who went on to work down in the New York area for several months, and then brought this work to the traumatized public. The protocol was eventually revised to be taught as a self-care protocol so people could learn to do it on themselves instead of a practitioner doing it on them. And it has since been renamed. So Seva Stress Release continues to be Soul Lightning's way of serving in the world. In the ancient Sanskrit language, Seva means compassionate, selfless service. And so now this class is taught by trained teachers nationally and internationally. It's used in hospitals by nurses, pre- and post-operative treatments, by physical occupational massage therapists, by lay people and their family and children, in communities where war and hunger have devastated populations, in businesses to help reduce the stress of daily life demands, and on and on. And so this protocol was developed and is currently being used and taught in many locations. And we have also been doing research with this protocol. There's a recent article called Beyond Pills looking at self-reported pain and anxiety levels, and we have found that it is clinically significant to be reducing pain and anxiety in various populations. So we're excited to be able to offer the Seva stress release as our part of helping heal the world from the events of 9/11.